Once again, I'd like to thank my mate from Wales, Brandon Smith, for giving me an opportunity to weigh in on his YouTube channel with respect to the November Test Series. I want to provide my insights into the United States Eagles play over the November Series and give you a perspective on the upcoming year as we lead into Rugby World Cup 2019. So what are my takeaways from the November Test Series for the United States? Best be defined by the good, the bad, and the ugly. First, the good. The United States took home 2 victories against 2 very difficult opponents historically for the United States to have good results against. The first one is Samoa. Samoa's been a team that I don't know we've beaten in 10 years. And so to beat them 30-29 in the waning moments of the game is certainly something the boys should be happy about. I think the Eagles can take more pride in their Romanian victory. The United States showed that they could play pretty stout defense against a team that they've had difficulty with. They also did very well in the set piece, in particular the scrum, and Romania are a formidable scrummaging side. And so to beat them 31-5 shows that the United States is making some stride. Having said that, we have also got to put it in perspective. The bad, USA Eagles selectors were hamstrung in developing their match day 23 against New Zealand Maori. Due to the test window, the United States Eagles were without some key players. And against a team like the New Zealand Maori, who, quite frankly, could probably break the top 10, if not the top 5, the United States cannot afford to be anything but at its strongest in developing its lineup. So who were we missing that was key in my mind? Front rowers, Titi Lamasatelli and Joseph Taufete'e. Midfielders, Paul Lasicki and Bryce Campbell. And our captain, fullback/winger, Blaine Scully. Without these players, the United States does not have the depth to compete against some of the strongest sides in the world. We will need to develop our depth over the course of the next few months as we lead up to Rugby World Cup 2019. The ugly, 2 sound thumpings at the hand of 2 worthy opponents. What makes these 2 matches frustrating are a few things. Number 1, player availability. In 2013, the United States lost to the New Zealand Maori 19-29. But we had our number 1 side to put out on the pitch. It shows what kind of result we are capable of against a very strong side. And now Ireland, what makes that match frustrating, it just shows me the gap that exists between the United States and some of those first-tier opponents. Essentially, Ireland put out their second 15. And while there is a wealth of quality players in that second 15, it is, quite frankly, their second 15. Ireland will use that match to develop those players in what will essentially be the build-up to 2019. And the United States used this November Test Series to do the same. But it doesn't change the fact that it shows the big gap between those second-tier nations like the United States and those first-tier nations like Ireland, New Zealand, and Wales. So we have a ways to go as we head to Rugby World Cup 2019. So what are the takeaways from 2018? 8-1 test record, and that's nothing to sniff about, but we've got to put it in perspective. So what's that perspective? Number 1, we've got to use the upcoming test matches as a means to develop more depth for Rugby World Cup 2019, and I think the United States will do so. We've got America's Rugby Championship coming up, and there are a number of key matches that I'm going to be looking to see what the United States' strength is. Our first match is February 2nd in Santiago, Chile. That should be pretty interesting. Again, look to get some new players in the mix. This is the match I'm looking forward to. February 9th, Argentina in Argentina. Remember, Argentina is one of the United States matches in its pool in Rugby World Cup. So I'll be looking to see what the United States does, and I'm also interested in seeing what Argentina puts out on the paddock. We're playing Brazil in Austin, Texas. That'll be an interesting match as well, just to see what kind of mix of players the United States puts out. Same thing for March 2nd against Uruguay. That's being played in Seattle, as well as a match in Seattle against Canada on March 9th. I'm really interested in this match for a number of reasons. Number 1, Canada will actually have some fans to show up because it is not too far from the Canadian border. The other reason I'm looking forward to this match Because quite frankly, the United States has shown the ability to beat Canada consistently. The question is, will they be able to do it again? I think they must. If they can't do that, it's a step backward. And the United States can't afford to take any more steps backward. Once again, it was great to be with all of you. I hope to see you again and be able to recap the United States Eagles results in America's Rugby Championship. I hope everybody has a wonderful upcoming holiday. Cheers.